So immediately, I have to say, one of the messages I got right away, even before the Devil card came out, is I feel like there's something you have to let go of in the beginning of August. And I feel like it's something you want to let go of. And I feel like with the Devil card coming up, it's either an addiction of some kind, or it's a toxic situation or person. Um, when we talk about addiction, it doesn't necessarily mean drugs. It can mean just a habit that is unhealthy, such as the eating habit or a smoking habit or a shopping habit. It's you recognizing this month that there's something about your day-to-day, how you handle or how you cope, or it's also something regarding a person even, maybe that you find toxic now that you've held on to for a time. Now you're understanding the beginning of August that maybe this is too unhealthy. I feel like whatever this is causing you a lot of mental anguish, a lot of sleepless or restless nights. Maybe it's just weighing heavy on your mind that you know this is something that needs to change. And with the Seven of Pentacles in the very center, this is saying this is, this is a habit or this is a pattern that you've been doing for some time, either with an individual or independently as some form of addiction. I think it's now time you realize to do something different, to live differently, because I think you realize that this addiction or whatever this is, again, it's causing you more pain than good. And you're starting to question the quality of your life by holding on to something you know you shouldn't hold on to any longer. The month of August gives you the strength to overcome this, whatever it may be. And we see with the Six of Swords, you are moving on. You're letting go of something. The Eight of Wands as the outcome card is beautiful because the Eight of Wands talks about fresh, new, exciting news or new beginnings that you're having. This is like good news coming in. So there may be something, for some of you, I'll say this. Maybe the beginning of the month you get some type of news that you're not too happy about. Okay, maybe you have a checkup and you think, okay, my blood pressure came back too high. So you realize that you need to invest in your health differently. You realize you need to let go of some toxic, ways of habits or whatever. You're understanding that you've been doing this and holding on to this habit or this thing for unhealthy reasons. It's not necessary anymore for you to be happy in your life. Whatever this is with the Hanged Man that you're needing to sacrifice because of this addiction or whatever, it's causing you some stress, some anxiety. For some of you, it may even just be costing you too much money, like smoking. It's costing me way too much money, this addiction. I've been doing it for years. It's time for me to move on. For some of you, it's something like that, It doesn't have to be health-related either. The addiction can be a person. I've constantly given in to this person. They've caused me a lot of mental anxiety. I can't be in this relationship anymore. I've held on to it for unhealthy reasons. And it's time to now move on. This is the month where you have that capability. Now, if this is concerning a relationship that you're letting go of, we have the King and Queen of Wands, and what's interesting about this pair is if you look, they're looking in opposite directions. They're not even looking at each other. You guys are totally in different points of view, and there may even not be communication at this point. I feel like you're holding back if you're the male. If you're the female, you're already looking on moving ahead. You've already left, or you're emotionally, you've moved on. So there's just something here about letting go of what's no longer healthy, and it's actually very positive because the outcome is something beautiful. It's something that ultimately you're going to get where you want to go. Let's clarify this with these oracle cards of mine. I want to look at the, let's look at the Nine of Swords first. Nine of Swords says you no longer have joy and happiness in a situation, whether it's within a relationship, can be a friendship, can be a romantic relationship. Maybe your romantic relationship is lacking that friendship. It's all about sex anymore. It's not what you want it to be. You want something more. You know, and this is an unhealthy dynamic between you and another person where you're wanting more and you're holding on to them. You're needing to release them. That could be a scenario. But either way, with the Nine of Swords, these cards are saying you're lacking your true joy and happiness, and you have to be your own best friend. And that can mean sometimes releasing something, right? I want to look at the Eight of Wands. It may seem initially that moving on, soldiering on from the situation is challenging emotionally because you have the Sorrow card, but you are going to be successful in moving ahead with the Journey card. You're gonna find your true happiness. You're gonna find who you're truly meant to be with. And if it's releasing yourself from a toxic addiction, it's unburdening yourself and being able to move freely, move ahead. So that's all I'm going to say for the general reading. Let's go ahead and move into the love portion for Aquarius. First card we have is the Three of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, Three of Cups, King of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. Overall energy at the bottom of the deck for your reading is going to be the Ten of Wands. So let me just look over the cards quickly here. See what messages are coming through. I think it's interesting for a love reading. We only have one cup, or no, we have two cups cards. We have the Nine of Cups and we have the Three of Cups, but neither of these cups cards are really like love cards, right? I mean, the Nine of Cups is about self-indulgence sometimes, being egotistical or prideful. Look at me, look what I got, look who I am. I want to say maybe for some of you who are single, you may be spending a lot of time and money on an investment of some kind, but there's a warning here to not spend it foolishly. In other words, like, let's say you want to make some type of an investment for your future, but there's a part of you that you're spending foolishly. You know, maybe you're going out too much. Maybe you're spending too much on alcohol or drinking, going out and partying. So it becomes a burden because you're spending more time working and trying to make up for what you're spending than actually enjoying the fruits of your labor, and, you know, getting to really I don't know, it's like burning the candle at both ends. I feel, for some of you. There's something here about, I want to say this may be a specific message, but there's something here about attending an event or a party. There being someone there that may be an earth sign, but if they're not an earth sign, they're just someone who's acquired wealth. Either they've built it on their own or there's someone who comes from it. Either way, you acknowledge this person at this event. This person has a proposition for you, and I think it's something very fulfilling, and it could be something very fulfilling for you. Something that you're very excited to receive. However, there is a warning here to not overextend yourself in some way, because I feel like you've already obligated to yourself to some other endeavor. And I know this isn't really love related, but I have to say what I see. For some of you, because there is a lack of cups here, maybe for some of you singles, you're more focused on business, you're more focused on money, you're more focused on advancing yourself in some way, building your career. This could be for a younger Aquarius, a younger Aquarian male, I feel, particularly. But I feel like this is more about building yourself and stabilizing yourself before a relationship. And this talks about there being someone present who can help you, elevate you in some way, that you may be meeting in the month of August. There's just a message to maybe they're by the end of the month, or it doesn't have to be by the end of August, but at some point you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not you want to continue on with this new endeavor, or you want to continue working where you are or doing what you are, because it's going to be overwhelming at some point. So that's just for a particular person. But when it comes to love and romance, I'm going to say I think it's very important for you to really focus on what you want out of a commitment, out of a relationship. I think a lot of you are practicing independence this month, even if you are in a committed relationship. I think you're focused on work. I think you're focused on money. I think you're focused on maybe there's events going on this month that take up your time and attention. You may feel, again, the candle burning at both ends at some point, but ultimately this is something you enjoy. This is something you want to do. Your partner, however, may feel that you're a little excluding them a little bit. But you have to explain to them that, look, I'm just overwhelmed. I got a lot going on. This is a busy month or a busy time, work-wise, financially, emotionally, with our friends and family. There's stuff going on. You're just going to have to be patient and work with me. We got to work together on this. For singles, this is just being indulgent. And that's okay. Working on your bills, working on your finances, working on your careers. Maybe you feel like you already got a full plate and you're not ready to settle down and commit. I think for some of you, there may be a person around you who's an earth sign who you do have an attraction with or to, but you have this kind of indecisiveness about whether you should pursue it because you have a lot going on, maybe work-wise or career-wise, or maybe you're also a student, maybe you have multiple things going on, and it's hard for you to even think about pursuing a true, real relationship when you know your plate is already full. I'm going to look at this King of Pentacles. Okay. So for those of you in a committed relationship, yeah, I think if some of you, it may be an earth sign Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn that you are involved with. And this is your partner. You love this person. But again, there may be feelings of, you know, you're not home, or I don't have that time with you that I need. And your partner may be expressing that to you this month. And it may make you feel a little trapped in a sense. Like I said, I feel like this month for you, it's really about getting out and practicing your independence in a way. And so your partner may make you feel a little oppressed, but just emotionally. And you really just got to make them feel stable in the relationship. That's what Earth signs are all about. So offer that stability by reminding them, I'm here, I'm just really busy. And when I have a moment, we are going to spend time together. Maybe plan something for a month and a half out so you guys have something to look forward to, you know, later on. Let's look at the Two of Swords here. Two of Swords, we have the Servant, money, and sweetheart. Again, some of you are needing to decide whether you want to pursue an earth sign. For those of you who are single, maybe there's an earth sign that you are liking, or maybe they're liking you. Maybe you're the sweetheart. And they may be coming around and, you know, offering their assistance here and there, because earth signs do like to do that, you know. Maybe offer help financially, offer help physically, you know, do things for you, help you move things. So you may see that coming up with an earth sign if you know, you're just single and not really in a particular relationship with any other earth sign. You may just see someone come around and want to offer their help and assistance, and you're realizing that there may be a connection there, but you also, again, you just feel overwhelmed. I'm finally going to look at the Ten of Wands here just to see what we can do maybe to rectify this. It's about not trying to take on the world, okay? I think you're kind of like a soldier. You're marching on. You're muddling through. You're meeting your obligations, but there's also a side of you that's feeling very irritated, I want to say, because there's just so much going on at once and you feel overwhelmed, okay? So it's setting healthy boundaries, reminding those that you love that you're there and you do love them. You have a lot going on this month. It's about you. I feel like you're focused again on career, maybe on other interpersonal relationships with family and friends. Maybe there's social obligations going on. There's a lot of maybe celebrations going on. But I feel like you're attending alone or something to that extent. And you and your partner just need to communicate. And for those of you who are single, you're just going to have a very busy month, but I think you're actually going to enjoy it.